Good morning everyone. Is 24-70mm the ultimate lens for street photography? Well, let's try it together. Let's go. Hola amigos, welcome to a new episode. Today we are in Antigua in Guatemala and I'm super excited because finally, after all of you have been telling me for many comments that I should get a 24-70. As you know, I got a 24-70 2.8 and I'm going to try it out in street photography. I've been trying it out for the past few days and I'm very excited to share with you all my findings about that baby. So if you've ever thought of getting that lens or if you want to know how it feels, this video is for you. So if you're ready, let's get started. Alright, first of all, I think the most important, whenever we get a new lens, whenever I get a new lens, I want to look at the lens. How big is it? Remember the video on the 70-200 2.8? I was like, it's massive, but I love it. Well, the 24-70 looks way bigger than I thought. In my mind, I thought it would be a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. Ooh la la, when you put it out at 70, it is actually really big. It's hard to go unnoticed with that kind of lens. But it's also because it's a 2.8 version. Oh, we've got a little church going on, one sec. I think that's a notification bell. Someone was hitting the notification bell several times. So if you're not subscribed, do it. If you didn't hit the notification bell, make sure you do it. It's gonna make the same sound. All right, back to that. So pretty big lens, I gotta say. Now the good thing, and something I regretted that I didn't have on the 16-35 is there is no lock button on the 16-35 2.8, but there is one here, which is great because you can lock it at 24, which means when my lens is here, when my camera is here, it doesn't like extend by mistake or just by vibration, which I think is a great advantage and also saves a little bit the mechanism inside your lens. Now, last thing, the weight, well, it's not light, obviously, but it's not too heavy that you can't carry it the whole day. It's not a 70-200 clearly, and that is great. Now, what is the main advantage of the 24-70? I think everyone would agree it's its versatility and its range, so let's test that out. So I just shot everywhere. I was just running around that street and a few other streets the other day, and I can tell you, versatility is really what you get that lens for. Wow, it's insane. Either you want to shoot at 70mm and go surgical, you know, like really get something close up, or if you want to get a portrait, that's perfect. Now, if you want to get a little bit of the ambience, or if you want to shoot at the classic 35mm focal length on street photography, well, that's also possible. So I was really impressed that I never felt like I needed to change my lens. Maybe 24 was not wide enough on very few circumstances, but to be honest, for most of the time, I just didn't change lens. It's amazing. So obviously, imagine if you're in a place like I am, where I feel a little bit insecure if I open my bag and I have all my gear out. That's great because with that lens, I didn't need to change lens. So when we were out there traveling, I could just keep that one fixed on the camera and I didn't change at all. In terms of aperture, that one is 2.8, which gets you a very nice bokeh. When you get like some compression, the background blurs out very nicely, and if you shoot a few portraits, that's also very nice. I don't think it should deter you from having the f4 because it's way cheaper, but the 2.8 is so smooth. It's just, I just love it. Okay, there is a shot of a lady over there. I really want to get it, so let's try to get it, and I'm gonna show you how I use a cool function in my camera that makes that lens insane. Alright guys, there is something really cool, so especially when I'm on the R3, is that I can go in APS-C mode, which means the 70 turns into something like 100mm, which gives me extra range, and that is very practical. So I was trying to shoot that lady over there with the clothes that she's gonna be selling, because that's one of the most famous parts here in Antigua, with the door and the beautiful volcano in the background. But 70 was a little tight, so I went even further with the APS-C mode, and I think that's really cool. I think the shot ends up pretty fun. If we can get, oh, the pigeons. We can get the pigeons. Damn it. I want the pigeons to fly through the door at the same time. And I don't like to fake pigeons, so I'm not gonna add them in post. I'm gonna have to wait a very long time. Are you guys ready? We're gonna make a 24-hour video. No, I'm joking. Okay, next. Alright, so obviously this is kind of my raw reaction after a few days of using it. And I want to point out something very, very important, which is the danger. What is the danger of using that lens? Well, the first danger is becoming super lazy. For those of you out there who love prime lenses, you know what I'm talking about. Prime lenses get you to move. With that, you're not gonna move as much, and I think as a photographer, that can change the way you're going to shoot, and changing it not necessarily in the best way, because instead of really seeking for the right angle, the right exposure, the right, how do you call that, the right composition, and working with people to get there, you might just be trying to get a little bit too lazy and not move enough. But I think that's also something that's only on you, so it's very personal. If you have that tendency, maybe get a prime lens. If you don't have that tendency and you still love running around like me, then keep that lens. I think it's an amazing lens. Another danger is simply that it's big and it's heavy, so if you want something compact for traveling, I mean, that's not so much of a danger, but it's more drawback. It's not that small. Yet, if you only have to take one lens instead of 3 or 2, I think it's a win-win. So what would be my conclusion? So my conclusion would simply be, if you're looking for a lens to rule them all, I think you got the baby you want right here, because it's perfect. You can shoot landscape, you can shoot street, you can shoot cityscape, you can go wide, you can go tight, you can do everything, to be honest, with that lens. And I gotta say that 2.8 makes it extra buttery and makes it possible to shoot very nicely at night. Yet, there's a big thing. We didn't talk about it. Money. Guys, money does not fall from the sky. Some of you asked me if I had a rich family that was paying for lenses. Sorry to break it for you, but I've been working for many years, and I also use those baby to work. And that one's just a rental because I just wanted to try it out during the trip. So, it's a real investment. You can't just improvise with that lens, to be honest. We're talking about $2,000+, but if you can use it, if you can justify it, if it's going to replace a few of your lenses whenever you're going somewhere or when you want to shoot daily, that could be a great option. Now there's a f4 version that might be a little bit better, a little bit more affordable, and at the end of the day, remember, the best lens is the one you use the most. It's the one that's the most practical for you to use, and if it's a 24-70, so be it. If some people will tell you, well, you're not a real shooter because you're not shooting prime, you know what? Tell them it doesn't matter. I don't care what you think. What I care about is that I take the photos I want. And if you know any great street photographer, travel photographer, you might be surprised. A lot of them use those lenses also and get beautiful results, especially for travel portraits, because you have that opportunity to go and capture everything in a place with one lens. And I think it's really enjoyable whenever you're trying to travel light and compact. So I was here in the street and I was trying to get different vibes, you know, like close up, a little bit of scenes of daily life, you know, with the story behind it, and also a little bit of the environment, and I kind of managed to get everything with that, and I was really surprised. So definitely try to rent it out one day if you can. Try that lens, highly recommend you. I think it's fun. Now I'm gonna try it even more over the next few days. I'm gonna go hopefully on top of a volcano, should get some pretty epic shots there, and I will share with you my overall thoughts about it for not just street, but also, for example, for landscape, and how does it compare to the 16-35 and the 70-200. Which one should you get first, etc. Well, I'll do a specific video on that just for you guys. So if you're new to this channel, remember, hit that SUB Series B button, ring that notification bell. It's gonna make an amazing dawn like we heard earlier, and I will see you on the next episode. Can't wait to share more of those adventures. Looks great here, having an amazing time. See you guys in the next episode. Bye. Babe. What? Need you to scare the pigeon. On a special pigeon mission.